What's up, world? Lee here with Sticks, Strings, and Other Things, my tiny little corner of the internet where I come to you every other week and chit-chat with you about all of the crafty things that I've been getting my hands onto. Today I am filming on May 3rd, which means this will be going up on May 4th. Obligatory Star Wars joke here. This will be going up on May 4th. I hope the world is treating you. I hope the world is treating you as well as it can. Right now, we're not going to get into any of that. This is episode 37, and I'm coming to you from the Pacific Northwest, where it's very gray and kind of chilly and very Pacific Northwesty. Right. Filming from a different area today. You might notice I am in my dining room today. And I will explain that in the life section. Because, yeah, life, it's doing a thing. If you are new here, I hope you enjoy. I hope you find something interesting. I hope you subscribe. I hope you come back. I hope there's plenty here to keep you entertained. For that is why I'm here. Okay, that's not why I'm here, but sounded good. If you are a returning viewer, thank you. Thank you so much for coming back. Do appreciate it. Then I'm not just talking to a camera. It feels a little nicer in my world. And there are going to be so many interruptions today. Going to be constant interruptions because I'm in the dining room. Constant interruptions. Never-ending interruptions.
I'm trying to not interrupt.
Ah, alas, again, that'll get into the life portion of how things are going. I mean, I can't deny the guy is water. Seems cruel. Where were we? Right. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. You know where everything is. Get yourself a nice cup of coffee or tea or water or whatever beverage you feel like drinking right now. It could be day drinking. Who knows? It could be night drinking. Who knows? I don't. I am drinking a cup of tea. This is, ooh, what was this? It's tasty. Something chai. Gingerbread chai, that's what it was. And it's nice. Nice and tasty in my Jack Skellington mug. Because of course, Jack Skellington is awesome. Now, the lighting is a little bit different today, so we'll see how colors go. I have no clue how that's going to work. Let's get into the reason why we are all here. The crafty things I've been getting my hands onto. This time it has just been some cross stitch and some knitting, which is pretty standard. Nothing wrong with standard though. I do have one finish in the cross stitch world, and I have a hoe in the knitting world. Let us start with the cross stitch finish. I finished, woohoo, yeah, not used to having light behind me. Let's see what I can do about that. Much better. I have finished the March wordplay with all of the called for colors on a 36 count grog by Stitch Me. I worked on this and finished this during the 24 hours of cross stitch that happened the other weekend. Not last weekend, the one before. I love these pieces. They're really fun. And I like that I am using all of the called for colors. It was an excuse to get all of the colors. They don't use a ton in each piece, but over the whole course of the project, they use, you reuse quite a few colors. And also my stash of called for threads were nicely increased. Never a bad thing. I only got this much done. I didn't even start April. Some weekends are like that. Some weekends are like that. You do what you can, and this is what I could do. So that makes 3 down, 8 to go, 9 to go. I can do maths. 9 to go. Maths is hard, okay, people? It's hard. Right, so nice finish. That can now go in the drawer of doom. The drawer of doom. Next up, I have I'm gonna slip this onto a sock blocker. Because yes, I have a hoe. This is one sock, hence hoe. It's a half-finished object. Oh, that is some interesting colors. That's a little closer. Not by much. I like the other room where I have better colors, but it is what it is. This is a sock that I am making for my mother for her birthday, which was in April. I have one done. 2 feet, 1 sock. Yeah, I have more knitting to do. I have not yet cast on for the second sock, but I will be doing that soon. I am using a pattern this time. This is not just my generic sock. I don't know if you can see the pattern very well. It's just a fun twisted rib. Yeah, it's a twisted rib. It's a twisted stitch, twisted rib pattern that I'm really enjoying. And this is the Prairie Socks by K. Jones. Yes, it is a Prairie Socks by K. Jones. I did, I think, 20 rounds for the 2x2 ribbing at the top. Then I did like 20 repeats of the pattern. I don't remember exactly. Then I did a contrast eye of partridge heel, continuing on with the pattern for the foot, and then just a basic rounded toe. And I didn't do my Kitchener stitch very cleanly right there. That's disappointing. I am happy with how well the edges here are closed up. I feel like I did that quite successfully this time. I am using a sock set from Earl Grey Fiber Company. This is her Darjeeling sock set, which is 75% merino, 25% nylon, and this is the colorway Northern Flicker. Color, okay, yeah, hey, brightening up. And since it was a sock set, it came with this color, and it, again, like I said, is called Northern Flicker because it is based on the coloring of the bird, the Northern Flicker. My mother very much enjoys bird watching, and she enjoys the flickers that come to her yard, so I thought this would be a very appropriate sock for her. And then I chose Prairie Sock because, well, you see birds in prairies. I don't know where I was going with that reasoning, but I liked the pattern. I was amused that this actually microstriped a bit more than I was anticipating from what the yarn looked like in the skein and in the cake. I do not mind that, especially since this pattern really helps to kind of break things up, and kind of looks really neat. I'm very happy with this. Soon I will make the second one, and then I will have it off to my mother. She knows she's getting a pair of socks. She just doesn't know when. Life, it does things. Right, so that can go live over here. Now, that is all of the finishes and half finishes. Next up we have, I'm not used to doing this here, so I don't know where to put anything. It's very weird to have a table, by the way. Both good and really bad, because you just have piles, and it's just, I'm not used to working in these conditions. It is handy that I have somewhere very easy to put my tea, though. Do like that part. Right, let's get back to the important parts, the whips. Yes, the whips. Living in this lovely spiderweb bag is my 24/7 project. My 24/7 project is the, I'm just going to grab this one, the By the Sea Seasons from Jeanette Douglas. I had finished spring or summer. I had finished summer, and now I am moved down and I'm working on spring. There are lots and lots and lots of colors. I did buy the charts that had the accessory pack with them, so that it came with all of the charms, the flosses, and the beads. The beads and the charms will not be going on this until I'm finished with the entire piece. I did decide, as I mentioned in the last episode, I did decide that I would be doing the entire project before I, oh right, backlighting. I will finish the entire piece before I move on to my next 24/7 project. So here we are. Let's get that. Again, this is 1/2 on, oh poo, what is the name of this? It's a 32 count Wexford Linen by Silkweaver. I have the little tiny piece of paper that tells me that. And I have done this much on spring. I had to rip out some of this border because when I had started this, I hadn't realized that the border color changes with each season, which is really neat, but I hadn't realized that. So I had to rip this one back a little bit, and then I put in the border. Look at the turtle. Isn't that turtle just too fun? And then I have a little seagull, then this funky, I'm gonna call it an urchin. It kind of looks like one. Some birds, couple borders, and then I was working on this tree here when my time today came up. So I will be continuing on with this one. This color right here continues around the whole piece, so I am just leaving that strand so that when I get to winter, I can just use it. I am very much enjoying this piece. Got some seaweed here. It's fun. You get to stitch all of these funky fun marine animals, and I am enjoying that. There is a lot of specialty threads. This is all satin stitch. This was over one. I haven't really gotten into many of the specialty stitches. There's some specialty stitches in this border right here. I don't know how well you can see them. Not at all, especially in this light. Yoink. But I am very much enjoying this piece. And I imagine in 2 more weeks, I may not be finished with spring, but I will be very, very close. I love the water and the sand. That continues in each piece, with, I believe, slightly different colors for the sand. I'm not sure about the water. But, oh man, this lighting. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm very, very much enjoying it. Do not be concerned about all specialty stitches if you want to make this. The specialty stitches are explained fantastically. I have had no issues with any of that. I have had issues with counting, but that's on me, not the designer. The designer has done a beautiful job. Jeanette Douglas does a beautiful job with her designs. So that is my 24/7 piece, and I am loving it. Let me put it away. So here's the piece. All done so far. You can see the size of it. Not too big. And living in the Pacific Northwest, having a oceany piece is not a bad thing. Granted, we don't really have many lobsters, but we do have many of the other things. Come on, lighten up, lighten up. Can we go? I am so used to having decent lighting in the other room that this is all new, all new. The other piece that I was working on was my last Whip-Go piece for April, and it was to finish half of a Quaker Study by Carriage House sampling. I am doing this, excuse the crinkles, I am doing this 1/2 on Palomino by Lakeside Linen, using some Vicki Clayton silks. So doing my own colors. And I did in fact reach halfway. Halfway would have been right after this alphabet section. And since I was enjoying stitching on this, I decided to just continue on and start filling in this section of Quaker motifs here. I am using 2 variegated Vicki Clayton silks and 1 solid. The solid is one of the colors that's in one of the variegations. And I've pretty much lost all the tags for the colors, so I have no clue what they are. I have had this started for like 10 years, something like that. And I am using Whip Go to try and get it finished. When it comes up another time in Whip Go, because it will come up one more time in Whip Go, I will be finishing it. It was pleasant and enjoyable. Focus on just the parts that I was working on. I had finished up this section here, all of the letters, and then I went, like I said, down to the next section. The original called for 2 different colors, so in the inside portion, I am choosing to use my 2 variegates as stated in the pattern, like color 1 is this color, color 2 is this color, and then I'm just doing a solid border so that I didn't have to think. Because variegations with borders, you have to think about where your color changes happen, and I didn't want to do that when I started this all those many years ago. My next piece, which is kind of shoved all in here, is my Maidens of the Seasons. And I am working on spring. Nope, I'm working on summer. And I have finally finished all of her over one skin. So I was getting to fill in all of her dress portions. And that just sped by. I felt like I was getting so much done on this piece this time. I filled in more of the leaves and I'm gonna call them oranges. Oranges over here, maybe they're persimmons. I don't know. And then I started in on her purpley dress toga thing that she is wearing. I love the look of over one skin. I hate doing over one skin, but I love the look of it. And ever since I have made it onto this dress portion, I feel like this piece is just flying again, which feels fantastic. I am doing this one on a 32 count. I don't remember the name of the color. Can she find it? I'm using the called for threads, using a 32 count Serendipity Even Weave, sorry, 28 count Serendipity Even Weave by Sugar Maple Fabrics. They are no longer in business. And, so there's winter, spring, summer, and obviously fall will go here. I liked the fabric color because it kind of had all of the ladies' colors in it, and it's opalescent and shiny. Loving it. My last cross stitch whip, let me see, apologies for that. My last cross stitch whip, I started on the first because Modern Folk Embroidery, Mystery Stitch Along, name I can't pronounce, but each piece comes out on the new month, and I have started May. I have not yet finished May, but I have started May. Let me get it up here. There we go. I have gone down the border. Ooh, I've lost my... that's no good. There was a needle here. There isn't a needle here now. Yeah. We'll be finding that later, hopefully not with my feet. Jet. Anyhow. There we go. Back to it. I have gone down the border here, done this little wacky bird, and then I have started in on this very large flower pot. And there's more of a flower pot over here, some other birds. I have, oh, what did Pattern Keeper tell me? Like 1,500 stitches left. So a very long day or a couple of nights of stitching left to do on this. Once I find my needle. That's what I'll be doing later today. Oh yeah. Little nerve-wracking, that's okay. I am enjoying my modern folk embroidery piece. It's absolutely lovely, very, very pretty. I am stitching it 1/2 on a piece of Tawny Buff by Sassy's Fabbies. I do not think she is any longer in business. Using one strand of Almond M&M's Ymir's Silks in the colorway Raven. Her silks are lovely. About a whole hank of the Raven. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I love it. I likely will be working on that more today or tomorrow. I am not sure. But that is all my whips. I think I worked on some other stuff knitting wise. Oh, I did. I'm not going to grab it and bring it over because it's just a giant piece. I am continuing to work on my half and half triangle wrap by Pearl Soho. Love it. Still love it. I am almost done with the second skein of the first color. It's gorgeous. Still loving it. I love those pieces. They're just beautiful. But it's just a giant piece of garter knitting. So I'll show it when I finish one of the sections and start the next color. Right. That would be all I worked on. It's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. Now we can move on to plans. I have some. I do. I'm going to finish my modern folk embroidery piece. Well, the May section of my modern folk embroidery piece in the next couple of days. I am going to be starting A Tisket a Tasket by Rosewood Manor. I think I'm going to be starting that today. There is a Facebook group I've joined, Stitching in the Land of Good Enough, and her name just escaped me. There it went. She, the owner of, is running a stitch along for A Tisket a Tasket by Rosewood Manor. And today there is a Zoom meeting thing, Facebook group meeting thing. I don't remember what it is. There is a thing to get together and stitch it together, and I am going to take that opportunity to actually start it. She's divided the piece up into, I think it is 15 sections. I do not know if I will do them in those sections, or keep up to date and finish this in 15 months, but those are minor details. I will be doing that later today, and I am looking forward to it. Other things that I will be working on are my Whip Go pieces. I am lucky that one of my Whip Go calls this month, I think it was number 8, was a new piece. Start a new piece. Perfect. Tisket a Tasket will be my new piece. Ta-da! So that's an easy one to mark off. So boom, already at the end of the day, I will have one of my Whip Go numbers done. The other, oh, what was my other Whip Go? It's to work on one of my pieces, and I don't remember which one. Oh, right, work on a Blackbird design piece. That was it. So I am, not this week, next week or the week after, I will be working on We Live in Hope by Blackbird Designs. And my Whip Go is just to work on that for 5 hours. Each of my whips that I have on my Whip Go is to work on them for 5 hours. Actually, that's not true, because I have a couple things on there that are like finish a motif or finish half. So for some of them, For some of them, it's work on them for 5 hours. For my Blackbird Designs piece, it is work on it for 5 hours, which will be easy because this month, the way I have my schedule set up is I have a new piece for every week. I'm giving Tisket a Tasket a bit longer than a week. I'm giving it all of this week and all of next week because I know a chunk of this week would be taken up by my modern folk embroidery piece. So I wanted to give it a full week. And since it was a new start, I wanted to kind of kick it in the butt, get it a little farther along. So that is my plan for that. So this week and next week, you will see me working on modern folk embroidery, Tisket a Tasket, and and then I will be starting Moons of 2022 by Kathy Barrick on the full moon this month, which I forget the exact day of, but it is before I film next. So I will have that to show you when next we meet. I will hopefully have a second sock finished for my mother. Whether I have the socks or not, I do not know. I had an original plan, but that is messed up, and we'll get to that in life. I originally was going to give them to her for her birthday on Mother's Day. Details. But hopefully I will have a second pair of socks. If I do not have them to show to you, I will put a picture right there. And when that happens, so you can see the finished pieces, because it's a lovely pair of socks and I like them. That is... Oh, and continue to work on my 25/7 piece. Easy. I switch it between 24/7 and 25/7 all the time, name-wise. I work on it for 30 minutes anytime I have that day. every day I work on it for 30 minutes. But I call it my 25/7 or my 24/7. Whatever. Whatever, it's my daily piece. Now, quick bit of haul. Stash, acquisitions. There's not a lot. I did get my punch needle and primitive stitchery magazine. Lovely. I received my Be Stitch Me fabric of the month. I get a 40 count, and it is the color Peanut. Oh, it's a good color. It's a good color. Nice modeling. Lovely. So, happy for that. I did, where'd they go? I hid them over here. I did have to buy some new stitch markers because they were adorable. I got these on the Corner of Craft. Blanking on her name. I got these from the Corner of Craft. She's in the UK and she does stitch markers and she does yarn. She dyes yarn in colorways reminiscent of or inspired by Dungeons and Dragons. But I got this because of the sloth. I mean, look at that. Look at the sloth. He is the most adorable thing. And since this does come from the UK, I figured my poor baby sloth could not travel alone, so I got a penguin. Her beaded stitch markers are really good. I really like her beaded stitch markers. They are absolutely fantastic. I really love them. They're super light, so when you put them on your knitting, they don't weigh it down at all. And they're so cute. They're not always easy to get because she's, one person making them all by herself and dyeing yarn. Yeah, that's like 2 different businesses. So they can be a little hard to get, and when I saw that the sloth was there, I jumped on it and needed to have it. So again, the Corner of Craft. Totally check her out. She is fantastic. I have one skein of her yarn, which I've already turned into a pair of socks, and it was glorious to work with. I can afford stitch markers. They go in an envelope. Shipping is not too bad. Yarn now from the UK it's just out of my budget anymore right now because of shipping costs, which is sad. But what can we do? My last piece of stash is my Sock Squad monthly yarn subscription from Farmer's Daughters Fibers. And this is for May. It is I Dream of Yucca. And this part, actually right there, those are almost the colors. This one's more true. This is showing a little greener than it actually is. in person. I love Farmer's Daughter's Fibers Sock of the Month Club. Just love it. So good. This is their Bear Paw Sock, which is a merino yak nylon. I love socks with yak. I just love the colors that they give. That yak has a brownish color, so the dyes always just look more rich. Anyhow, do not need to start another pair of socks. Right, that is all my stash. Now we can move on to life stuff and why I'm filming in the dining room and not in my normal room. Because you see, my craft room is the second half of the kids' bedroom. It's a very long room, so half of his bedroom, half is my craft room, which is lovely. Works fantastically. But right now, the kid has COVID. He is doing okay. He's tired. He's achy. He's bored out of his mind and grumpy. Don't blame him on that score. However, since he has COVID, he is isolated in his bedroom. Which means I'm out here. I'd rather he take care of himself and do what he can to make sure that myself and the guy who is working at home, because obviously the two of us have been exposed to a person with COVID. We're not going anywhere. My husband is working from home, the guy. And that's why I was having interruptions. Whether or not we left that interruption in when he came up for a glass of water, I do not know. You will know because you'll have already seen it, but I do not know because I haven't edited this yet. That would be why I'm here. That would also be a little bit why I didn't get quite as much done. Little things like that. That's the main life thing though, because other than that, I mean, we're all at home doing nothing. And I'm not going to talk politics or what the Supreme Court's been doing. Not going to do it. Nope. Right. Other than that, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Now, life is not very exciting for me right now, which I wish it were less exciting, to be honest. I like having a somewhat boring, mundane, normal life. One moment, I need to sneeze. Yes. Right. Since the kid has COVID and we've now all been exposed, I have been playing the glorious game of COVID or allergies. Is it COVID? Is it allergies? COVID, allergies, COVID, allergies. Now, because I know me, I'm 99% sure that it is all allergies. I have tested. I have been negative so far. I'll test again in a couple of days, make sure that I'm still negative. If I am, yay, we've squeaked through with only one COVID in the house. If I do not, I do not. I've done what I can to save, to prevent, but there's only so much you can do sometimes. Darn infectious diseases. They're, you know, infectious. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I've already done plans, I've done live, I've done everything. That's all she wrote for today, folks. Thank you for coming and visiting. I appreciate the time you have spent with me. There are many options, and I am so far behind on watching that I have many hours ahead of me of needing to catch up on all of my FlossTube and podcasts and all of that. There are many options, so I'm glad that you spent this time with me today. Take care, everyone. And I will be here in 2 weeks, and you can see how far I made it on Tisket and Tasket. Oh, cannot wait to start that later. It's gonna be fun. It deserved a happy dance. Sorry you had to watch that. A little awkward. Oh well. Catch y'all later, folks. Bye-bye.